Diddy faces serious consequences as a leaked video reveals disturbing footage of him physically assaulting Cassie. Despite her previous hints at his abusive behavior, the severity of the footage shocks viewers. Last year, Cassie filed a lawsuit detailing allegations of abuse, including physical violence, exploitation, stalking, and threats. The leaked video validates her claims, highlighting the gravity of domestic abuse. It underscores the importance of holding perpetrators accountable. Justice may finally catch up with Diddy as the leaked evidence strengthens Cassie's case, signaling potential legal repercussions for his actions. His lawyer said Mr. Combs vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. For the past 6 months, Mr. Holmes has been subjected to Ms. Venter's persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, which was unequivocally rejected as blatant blackmail. Despite withdrawing her initial threat, Ms. Ventura has now resorted to filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies aiming to tarnish Mr. Coles' reputation and seeking a payday. Attempts were made to depict Cassie as a gold digger and a resentful ex solely interested in Diddy's wealth due to her faltering career. However, they overlooked the support Cassie garnered. Rumors had circulated for some time about Diddy's questionable character and behind-the-scenes cruelty. Cassie's lawsuit substantiated these claims, revealing the truth about her treatment by Diddy. She provided numerous instances of his mistreatment as documented in court records. This revelation shed light on the reality of their relationship and garnered significant public backing for Cassie. He essayed Miss Venter in her own home after she tried to leave him, often punched, kicked, and stomped on Miss Venter, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding. Forced Miss Venter to engage in acts with male sis while getting off on it, and filming the encounters demanded that Miss Venter to carry his firearm in her purse just to make her uncomfortable and demonstrate how dangerous he is, and introduced Miss Mentor to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance use and required her to procure illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addiction. Mr. Combs beat Miss Venter, pushing her into a corner of the vehicle and stomping on her fate. When the car arrived at Mr. Combs' residence, Miss Venter attempted to run away, but Mr. Combs followed her and proceeded to again kick her in the face. Miss Venter was bleeding profusely and was ushered into Mr. Combs' home, where she began to throw up from the violent. According to the court documents, in or around March 2016, during info at the Intercontinental Hotel in City City, Los Angeles, Mr. Coles became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Venter in the face, giving her a black eye. After he fell asleep, Miss Venter tried to leave the hotel room, but as she excited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Venter. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel. While yelling at her, he grabbed at her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her, causing glass to crash around them as she ran to the elevator to escape. It's been exposed as a monstrous deception, as leaked footage of the incident unveils an even graver reality than Cassie had described. CNN shared the disturbing video revealing Cassie attempting to flee, only to be pursued by Diddy, clad in just a towel. He aggressively manhandled her, dragging her along the hallway back to her room. Shockingly, Cassie made no attempt to resist, merely curling up to shield herself from further harm. This harrowing scene, compounded by Cassie's revelation in her lawsuit of subsequent apologies out of fear, paints a distressing picture of ongoing abuse, demanding swift and severe accountability for Diddy's actions. She managed to get into the elevator, and when she got to the lobby, quickly took a cab to her apartment. Upon realizing that her running away would cause Mr. Combs to be even angrier with her and completely stuck in his vicious cycle of abuse, Miss Venter returned to the hotel with the intention of apologizing for running away from her. When she returned, hotel security staff urged her to get back into the cab and go to her apartment, suggesting that they had seen the security footage showing Mr. Combs, Miss Venter, and throwing glass at her in the hotel hallway. Furthermore, she alleged that Diddy resorted to bribery to obtain the hotel footage, fully aware of the damning consequences if it surfaced. According to court documents, it's claimed that Mr. Combs offered the Intercontinental Century City a substantial $50,000 sum for the hallway security footage. What's truly alarming is what followed. As Cassie grappled with her injuries in seclusion, Diddy purportedly issued threats to coerce her into returning to him, leveraging her career as leverage. Additionally, she contends that he dispatched individuals to intimidate her into compliance, highlighting a pattern of manipulation and intimidation that pervaded their relationship. A woman who worked at Sony Music reached out to her with a similar ultimatum concerning her record. Incredibly, Mr. Combs even convinced one of his attorneys to call Miss Venter. At this time, this lawyer told Miss Venter that it's in your best interest to call Mr. Combs back. Each time Miss Venter tried to run away, Mr. Combs and his powerful network would force her back to him. It's truly appalling to witness the audacity of this man, threatening to destroy Cassie even after inflicting harm on her and causing her to flee for safety. However, if there's any silver lining in this dark situation, it's that the world is finally seeing him for who he truly is, and he's now facing serious repercussions. Recent reports indicate that the FBI has launched an investigation into him, adding to the ongoing case by Homeland Security. Diddy finds himself in a deepening quagmire from which he won't easily extricate himself. Fans expressed outrage, demanding immediate consequences for his actions. Cassie endured over a decade with him, and while we may never fully grasp the extent of her suffering, the public glimpse into his behavior underscores the cruelty she endured. Drop your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned for more updates.